So this is where I'm at, week number 2, prednisone. Let's see, I am holding a good bit of water here. Still lean, but you know, just dealing with this flare. I am going to head over to the gym right now. I'm going to get a shoulder workout in, and then I'm going to take you guys a little bit through some of the stuff I'm doing for the podcast.
Taking Piper for a little walk. So I've been feeling better. Things are slowly coming back around. My digestive system is slowly getting better. I am trying to focus on getting myself back into being as active as possible. I want to rebuild my physique, and I want to get back into jiu-jitsu. My goal is to compete in a jiu-jitsu tournament sometime in February. So I got a lot to work on, guys. This flare-up really took a lot from me. A lot in terms of energy, a lot in terms of self-confidence. That's the hardest part of this whole thing, is that my self-confidence really took a dive because, you know, I was in really good shape over the summer. I was running, I was lifting, I was doing all the things that I wanted to do. And then all of a sudden my body just turned on me. And that's really how autoimmune disease is your body will turn on you in an instant. And it's crazy. It's crazy to think about how that kind of stuff happens. It's crazy to think about how, you know, just the littlest thing can cause a flare-up, and it could turn your whole physiology into a tailspin. All right, that workout actually felt pretty good. I am gonna go grab some grub right now and then get back to work.
All right, guys, so I'm back from the workout. Got some work done, and I wanted to take a couple of minutes to talk to you guys about the mental impact of this disease, because since it's happened, I mean, I've had this disease for 12 years, but every time I go through a flare, there's kind of this new bit of mental baggage that comes up. You know, when I first got the disease, I did everything I could to fight back against it. Started competing as a bodybuilder. That wasn't necessarily the best thing for me to be doing, considering the amount of food I was putting through my intestinal tract and things like that. But one of the reasons why I gravitated toward bodybuilding was because it helped me with my own personal image issues. And now, at 40 years old, I'm in a situation where I'm not bodybuilding anymore. I'm still training, but literally my body has revolted on me, and it's acted to try to take almost everything away that I once worked so hard to build up. And that in turn has had a really major mental impact on me. You might have noticed I'm not posting as many videos of myself I just recently got back into posting video images of the interviews that I do for the Warrior Soul podcast. And a lot of that had to do with me and my negative self-talk. You know, I don't really like the way my face looks when I'm this skinny. I don't like the way my body looks. I don't like the way my appearance is. I don't like my skin. I feel like I'm getting older every time I look in the mirror. And in so many ways, I've allowed that negative self-talk to limit me, to limit my business, to limit, and this is the biggest tragedy of it all, limit the amount that I'm actually out there helping people. Because that's why I do this work in the first place, to help the U.S. military veteran community to live their absolute best lives, and to help all of you who followed me for years to live better lives through health, through fitness, and through good thinking. And that in and of itself has destroyed me. And what I want to do is I want to talk to you about some of the ways that I've been kind of overcoming this. I read a book over probably about a month or two ago. I finished it. It was called Man's Search for Meaning by Viktor Frankl. And in that book, he was a Holocaust survivor. He was a psychologist. He was in Vienna. He was Jewish. And then he got captured by the Nazis, and he was put in a series of prison camps, concentration camps for 3 years. And in that time, the guy witnessed countless murders, experienced horrific torture, and he dealt with, they were sleeping 8 to 9 men a bed in the bitter cold. They were sleeping in filth and their own excrement. And through it all, essentially, Viktor Frankl didn't allow the situation to break him. And that's what his book is about. His book discusses how the survivors actually survived, right? And one of the things he says in the book is that if you were going to survive a Nazi concentration camp, it wasn't like an act of chance, right? You actually had to try. And one of the big questions of the book is, so in the midst of such suffering, why would people put so much effort into surviving? Right? And there were a good amount of prisoners who didn't. There was a good amount of prisoners who just stopped working and gave up, and then the Nazis would execute them. And then there were a good amount of prisoners who committed suicide. But for Viktor Frankl, he focused on those who survived, and he said, there was something that got those people who survived that experience that drove them to do so. And for him, it was meaning. He found meaning in his suffering. He found meaning in his struggle. And he writes about this. His meaning had to do with the patients he was caring for. Like I said, he was a doctor. He would care for the patients while they were in the camp. And he even had a chance to escape at one point, but he didn't. And you got to think, for people that have gone through something like that, not only with the amount they were personally suffering, but also with the knowledge that their family, their wives, their children were probably all also executed. That must have been absolute hell to go through. But what Viktor Frankl says is that if you have meaning in your life, you can get through anything. So where did I go wrong with my thinking? What mistake did I make to bring me so far down in mental wellness while going through this? And what happened was I started making it about me. I made it all about me. I made it all about what I was losing. I made it all about what was being taken away from me, being taken away from my body. And what I stopped thinking about was what I was actually putting out there into the world, the energy I was putting out there into the world. And, this channel, when I started it, I've never been like a YouTube superstar or anything like that. But the reason I started it was to put good things out into the world. And so if anybody would listen to it, then they'd get help. And my mistake was, okay, I'm looking at my life. I'm looking at how far down I've gone as far as my physicality goes. I'm looking at the fact that I've been at this for years, and my channel never took off, and I'm struggling in my business, I'm struggling in life, I'm losing friends. I lost a good friend over, and it made it all about me. And the truth is, it can't be about you. It can't be about you. If you're going to do anything worthwhile in this life, it's got to be about more than you. It's got to be about what you're bringing to this world. It's got to be about a cause that's much, much greater than yourself. And that's how I'm coming back. I've been throwing everything I can into the Warrior Soul podcast, trying to help the veteran community. And now with the series, what I'm trying to do is not come to you as somebody who knows everything about fixing this disease, because honestly, I don't. Obviously, I don't. But as somebody who's in the struggle and who is trying to show you how I'm getting through it as an average person in the modern age. And everybody out there has a struggle. It doesn't matter who you are, how much money you have, or anything like that. But at some point, you're going to go through suffering, you're going to go through hardship, and all of us are ultimately going to face death. And what matters is, between now and that time, when we're at death's door, how are we going to live? And I'm choosing to live by helping other people as much as I can. So that's where my thoughts are, guys. I really appreciate those of you who are watching this. And, I'll be continuing this series as I go along, and hopefully, more thereafter. And, follow along here. Listen to the Warrior Soul podcast, obviously, because I'm bringing people on who are amazing individuals. I just did an episode with Grant Cardone that was just published, and I did one with Donnie O'Malley, the creator of Vet TV, last week. Nick Kumalatzos. I did one with Robert Greene. So you guys should check those out and follow me along here. And that's all I got, guys. Love you all. I'm rambling, but it's from the heart. So with that, I will talk to you guys real soon. Peace.